Good morning, Dr. Brad.
We meet again.
We have just finished which you look dapper this morning. We have just finished a chat session where we covered a bunch of issues, and now we're going to do the working session. Unfortunately, during the chat, I was working before we started the chat session, so I had all my screens up and shared, and I didn't stop them during the chat session, so I don't know. I hope that flies. Anyway,
So that was, see, I'm gonna properly package this. That was the ghost of Christmas future yet to come, and here we are. It is now present.
Okay, so I want to put some context together because over this week I've been struggling with a couple of things. My subconscious has been struggling and my consciousness has been frustrated.
Oh,
And that is that I want if you read the introduction to this book that we're writing,
yes.
it's quite explanatory and very clear.
Okay.
And when we come to these rules, right, which is we're starting with the physics, there's not enough explanation, and I feel like it needs more of that. So I want to structure a little more like in other words, what am I really saying? So I'm fussing with this problem, and I'm fussing with this problem because this week I've been dealing with the issue of relations.
Okay.
I'm trying to build up from, and there's a reason for it. I'm trying to build up the concept that from our perspective, the universe, in other words, any intelligent life, the universe is built of relations. Either things are white noise, in other words, or they're disambiguated into relevance. But that relevance consists of relations in the sense that these things are unrelated, these things are related, or these things are, in other words, related partially, or they're related totally, like they're interdependent, right? So there's a spectrum of relations. And I want to do that because in the end, I want to show that neurons,
Yes.
right, that neurons build our world out of relations, just like, which is becoming thankfully visible, making our job easier with the new AIs, that AIs are simply like our neurons built of relations. And the more relations we have, the smarter the AIs get. Even better, the more relations we have with better quality information, the smarter they get. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So there's a lot, Mortimer Adler was fond of saying there's only 1,500 concepts. Right. The problem is if you have each one of those concepts is surrounded by errors, biases, and deceits, right?
Yes.
The world seems like it's quite complicated when it's actually quite simple.
Well, even errors, bias, deceit, superstition, there's a whole it's a whole mix of just nonsense, and it's like, right. And so I understand where you're going with this. I get what you're doing, because it's like that you're showing the pattern by which all is integrated.
Correct. I'm trying to unify the universe with the mind. Right.
Right. And what's interesting about this process is a linguistic problem.
Yes. And linguistics is all measurement, and measurement is always a question of precision. And so we are trying to get to the marginally indifferent position.
Right. So I see it. I see what you're doing. Yeah. What I want you to do is to introduce this construction before we introduce the language.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
because it's like it's prelingual, right? It's a fractal organizational structure the entire universe shares.
We need to tell them what we're going to tell them.
Yes.
Essentially, and then tell them. And so that's what I've been fussing with this week, is how do I do that? There are a couple limitations on that, on our what we can claim.
Right.
I'm trying to show the emergence of relations from the chaos of entropy.
Right.
And I want to build up from there. Now, there's a couple of, and the reason I would say that is that if it does not produce a protoparticle like a photon or a particle like an electron, it's not material in the sense that we mean it. In other words, our universe.
It's a wave.
What?
It's more like a wave.
Right, but and the thing is though that we can't find any. How do I say this? It appears we understand everything that can affect us. In other words, above us, above the primary forces, right? The four forces. We appear to be able to understand everything. Now, below that, and we don't know the constitution of the quantum background. It's not quite true. We know how it behaves. We don't know its constitution. We also know how waves and particles behave. We don't know their constitution. Once we get to a particle and an element and a molecule,
right,
we know how they behave, but we don't know. So and beneath that, there are some open questions. First, am I recording?
Yes. Don't be nervous. It's recording.
Okay. What we don't know is this problem of locality. All right, so which is the spooky action of distance problem. And or entanglement is the real issue. Now, I'm of the opinion that this is a problem in our understanding, not a question of non-locality. Right? That's my opinion. But I don't know that.
That's correct.
Right. I don't know that.
We understand each other.
Right. So there could, but from what we understand, even if there are non-local phenomena, no information can be transmitted between these things. So we don't understand what's going on there. So
right. I'm going to reiterate just to make sure that I understand what you're saying. Is it these are the entanglement is action at a distance faster than light, non-localized information transfer. And it's like, we don't understand why that is. It appears that space disappeared when the information was transmitted.
Well, so that's how we say it, but here's what it really means. Here's all it means. The correlation between entangled particles at any distance is higher than we can account for. That's the actual reduction. I'm not sure we can say anything more than that. So if I entangle two photons, or etc., right? At some distance, if we measure, if we measure one, I hate the word observe, but that's what it means, measure.
Right.
In other words, we interfere with it.
Yes.
We now know the information about the other. with absurd, with in a distribution, but what seems to be strangely accurate.
Yes.
So the problem is that could mean or could not mean that some sort of information is possible to travel within the quantum background instead of in the underneath the quantum background. And for various reasons, given the number of dimensions it would take to describe some of this phenomenon, I would see this as that there's, just like there's the material world, there's the quantum world underneath it, that there's something underneath the quantum world that's actually a substrate, if not 2 layers below it. It looks like at least 1, maybe 2. This is where all these ideas like the universe has lots of dimensions. Well, dimension is just an axis of measurement, which means there's an influence coming from somewhere. Well, it doesn't mean that, the vibrations of the earth aren't moving the waves of the ocean, aren't moving the molecules in the air, aren't affecting the light beams that hit us. I mean, it doesn't, it doesn't mean that those layers aren't interacting somehow, so to speak, in the quantum background. So I feel like I'm struggling too hard to try to answer questions. What I really want to do is what I really want to be able to say is nothing that we know of can affect nothing we know of yet can affect the physical world. In other words, nothing in the quantum background can affect the material world. In other words, the effects.
Oh, right. So the vibrations that occur there are subtle enough to not make significant differences to our observable functions.
Right. And since what we use in that world, which is basically harmonics, right, is measured by quanta. Quanta means a marginal difference. In other words, anything of marginal indifference doesn't affect anything. Only thing of quanta, a marginal difference, does. So in the real world, we measure things by their ability to cause change or an effect. But, we're working at very aggregate scales.
Yes.
In the quantum background, they're working at an absurd causal density of the boiling of the quantum background into what they call fields, but are really concentrations of some sort of concentrations and dissipations in the roiling and boiling of the quantum background. I mean, so I'm trying to state. I was trying to say, can I narrow this down to it's probably this, X, Y, Z? And what I feel like is I can't.
Can't?
I cannot.
Okay, so I would regard that as a reasonable assessment. That seems quite accurate. And the issue being, we can't make any certain claims there. And that's the limit of our capacity in the natural law to function as human beings.
Right. And so
you could firmly drawn the line.
Yep.
What the limit of our discernment appears to be at the moment. And that's all we can do.
Yes.
And we're trying to codify the natural law as we can see it now.
Right.
And that's the limit.
Correct.
I like the term marginal difference or marginal indifference because that's the limit.
Yes. And so what I'd like to do is take those objections off the table early. Right?
Oh, I see. So I think that will be in a precursor to the physics.
Yes.
So we would describe the spectrum of relations first, and then the limits second, and then the physics.
Right. But okay, so we still have to say, we still have the sensory perception problem and the linguistic problem.
Yeah, so but yes. So we would talk about language. How we're going to talk about things is limited, and here's the rules for discourse, right?
I'm following. Go ahead.
before the physics.
So we're due language.
Yeah.
Language. Then we do limits of physics. Then we do physics. But we have to do, okay, I think we have to do sensation.
Yes, before language.
Sensation, right?
Which is an interesting construction because it's like I regard it as human structures of cognition, right?
Yep.
Coming from embodiment and then language, which is description.
Yep.
And then physics, which is what we're describing, everything.
And then we have behavior, which is
That's right.
application, and evolution, which is consequence, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we do to law, right? Law,
Yes.
a method, law, etc. All right, so we do that sequence, right? So, all right. Do you know how many times I tried to solve this effing problem?
I love working with you, Kurt.
So,
because it looks to me like you solved the problem already, and I just show you where you solved it, how you solved it.
I mean, this is the great value of our partnership is that you're a legitimate proxy for the audience that I'm trying to reach. And you're a very smart guy, even though I don't want to tell you that too loud because I mean,
Not too loud.
but you're a very smart guy as well. And so if I can, what I find is that you confirm that I've made my point or not. Because if I can't explain it to you,
yes,
then if I can, what I find when we work together is if I can get it mostly there,
yes,
you can help me get it to explainable.
yes.
Does that make sense?
But I regard it as this is you get stuck on one of the trees.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's like,
So true.
no, we're back to go to this stand of trees over here. Just make it go to that stand. Just skip that tree. It's not worth more of your attention.
So true, and it's so painful. All right, so that's what we want to. That's how, and
Right. So like this is interesting. The methodology you stuck in there. I like that you stuck that in there because that's really methods. They're competitive. They're methods that are competitive,
yeah,
right? And we're showing how the law can integrate all of them.
yes.
So they're for potentials for integration, right?
Yeah.
Which is, some of them are better than others, and people can choose whatever method they prefer under the law.
Yes. Okay, so thank you for helping me work through that. Okay, so
It's satisfying, isn't it?
it's satisfying when we make progress, but you know, it's like this thing I get all the time in my life. It's what the first I thought I'm extremely frustrated by some problems, right? But I still solve them, right? But it's frustrating. I want them to be.
Well, it's an interesting problem of expression, right? Which is you want to perfect the expression. It's like you think of the person who had a stroke in their speech center, and they have a meaning they want to generate for other purposes to get out to their friend, but they can't make the words do it. Yes. That's what your problem is. You have this. It's the speech center is struggling to process the information properly to make the expression to satisfy the itch that you got in the other side of your brain.
Absolutely. I'm gonna itch right here, right now. See if I can scratch
Right?
it.
You get it?
Got it. All right. Thank you. It's just that was a way of, I try to show my appreciation for you because it's huge.
I appreciate you too, Kurt.
And so I really appreciate you getting me unstuck, like not only the first time, but repeatedly. All right. So okay, now we come to my next question, which is gonna, in other words, it's gonna rub me the wrong way.
Uh-oh.
You know, just because it's, I've, you know, you make mistakes in the past, and then you say, okay, I did have it right, then I got it wrong. One of those fucking things. Right.
Go ahead.
Go, say it.
No, what I want to do is break out another little section when we're done talking, because I have a question to ask you on similar lines, and I will tell you about that later.
Okay. So I started out with my first attempt to try to use geometry.
Yes.
Because what's geometry?
Stable relations.
Stable relations. And that video is really good, actually, right, on geometry. But I was surprised how few people could follow it. And so it frustrated me, because look, an observer, a referent, right? A reference, the words, a referent, something I'm going to, and a relation to another referent.
Yes.
That's as easy as I can make it, right?
Makes sense to me.
Right? I'm like, duh. It's pictures, right? I mean, it's the simplest it can be. And so I feel in my work on, oh, you can see this, maybe it's over here, I don't know. I worked with Claude 3 on this quite a bit.
Yes.
Is that I feel like it's just so much easier to say, let's start with this simple example. Now let's take it to language. But, you know, I'm so afraid of referring to geometry now, given.
I respect that. I get it. I've been burned once.
You know, I mean, I've been burned once.
Right.
So I'm afraid of using it. But I tried to build everything up from geometry, and then showed how language was just geometry of relations.
I understand you.
Right? Now, so I'm back with this, and I'm like, I'm struggling all week to talk about relations.
Yes.
But easiest way to talk about it, which I think is the clearest, is to talk about it as geometry. I can't find a more reductive, more obvious,
very, very intuitive
model. So what I'm really doing is asking you to talk me into overcoming my trauma.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, because your intuition is correct. I think that I used to write papers in college like this. I would write the 10-page paper until it failed. And then I would try to write it again.
Yes.
From scratch. I wouldn't use the piece. I would take whatever it was, but I would just start from scratch because I'm like, that one failed. And it's like the fact that you're absolutely certainly right that geometry is the most intuitive method by which to transmit the stability of relations, but it is in the context of stable relations that you talk about it, not as geometry first, but geometry subsidiary to stable relations.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I want to check something while we're doing this. Where are you? Let's go over here. Let's go to you.
You want to be showing all this?
I don't care.
Okay.
This is just my directory of our videos.
Okay.
I wonder if I have the do I have the original? Let me just pull this up, if that's okay. It's very slow because now it's going to try to load a video while we're running Zoom.
While we're running Zoom. I was going to say it. What? That's another stable relation, right?
Oh, you're funny. I'm just going to see if I can find anything insightful in this.
Hi, this is Kurt Doolittle for the Proprietary Institute. This is course law 103.
So I'm going to turn off the volume. And I'm going to skip through this a little bit.
Okay.
Your brain literally does this.
Yes.
Well, that's my favorite one.
I like that one.
It's really brilliant, actually. I don't say so myself. It's how your mind constructs space. It's really our sixth sense, right? Our
Yes.
sixth sense is spatial disambiguation, polarity, distance, projection. So I was trying to do is I was trying to create a vocabulary.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because it's actually, this is what, it's like what I just thought of this and now I feel stupid. When Eric Weinstein uses a geometric unity, he's essentially meaning a similar thing in physics.
Okay.
Yeah, so types, spatial dimensions, local dimensions, semantic dimensions.
Hmm.
Shit, this video's brilliant.
It's a good one. I like it.
Oh, we're going to use that today.
Yes.
I think I did it there.
Yes, I think so.
I think I did it there. I think that's
That's the piece that goes in there.
that's the piece that goes in there. So we start out with the because that's the bridge between perception and law and language, right? That's the difference. That's the
Yeah.
bridge.
That is the method of references.
Yes.
From sensation, right?
Right.
From embodiment on.
So we are going out from the body to the world.
That's right.
It's just easy, so much easier that way. And separating this from this was the other thing we did last week or the week before that helped a lot. Because there's too much of a tendency to go from here to here. But that's not helping us. Because we have to get to this.
That's right. And it's before the methods, way before.
Right. Because we have to have the paradigm, the universal paradigm. Then we have to apply it to scale, right? And then we have to use it to describe the deterministic
Functionality,
consequences.
Right.
And then we explain how to talk about all of that.
Yes. Well, so I look at methods as the way we talk about it, and the law is how we organize.
To apply it.
Yeah.
What did you call it?
I look at it as it's an integrative process. That this is the method of, this is how things are integrated at all scales. And if you look at it, it's like, look, the last one includes all and increasingly diminished scale all the way down there. That's just the scales.
Okay. Let me try one other thing. That's geometry, right?
I want you to know it only took me 3 years to be able to comprehend what you're talking about.
This one's fucked up. That one's brilliant, but it's fucked up. I don't think that is this necessary. Let me just. Don't know how the brain works. This, wait a minute, where's the next one? That one? I'm really proud of this one.
It's very good.
This, where's this one or that one? These. Where's the big one? Once you, I don't know why this is so hard, but if I can explain this section, it's like, okay, we're basically running a 3D video game in our head.
Yes.
Right? It produces exact same. It's like, why does the 3D video game look so real to us? Because it's exactly what we do. And it's so disturbing that the convergence between, I don't know why disturbing, it's just so obvious. Okay, well, you have border cells,
Has to be that way.
cells, pass cells, speeds. We have our own fucking speedometer.
Yes.
Right? you have your size, you know your body's size.
That's interesting. I want you to know this. And just this week, I noticed myself driving.
Yes.
And I'm very at ease driving. And because it's just the same thing. I'm just doing it. And it's calm.
Yes.
Because I'm just finding my way to my workplace, finding my way back from the workplace.
Yep.
And it's all very predictable. And you just watch everybody else to make sure they're not doing some stupid thing on the way, right?
Yep.
And
when I was a kid, my dad, we would go out for a Sunday drive.
nice. We did that too.
You know, it was great. You just go out for a Sunday drive, you just drive around, you learn the region, right? Because we lived in Western New York State, essentially middle of nowhere. Those little villages, right? All these villages founded in the 1700s. But you know, for me, my best experiences in life is just being in my Ferrari by myself, no radio, just driving and thinking.
That's right.
Or when my wife and I would go on trips, like we did a West Coast gallery tour.
That's
We had
nice.
every gallery on the West Coast, right?
That's cool.
Because I'm interested in their business models, right? Because my wife wanted to open a gallery, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do our research. You know what
Right.
I think the average gallery takes like 15 years to make its first dime.
My.
It's a rich wife's hobby, right?
There you go.
So anyway, yeah, I'm really proud of these. This is space, you know, how our brain organizes spaces, and I don't want to go into this detail.
No. That's for the other book.
Talking about it forever here too.
What's that?
I'm talking about it forever here. I mean, I go on about this topic for, I don't know, it's a couple of minutes. Oh, something's probably wrong here.
You think?
Oh, yeah, that's only part of the video. That's why it's there. You try this one too. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get my hand around. We definitely don't need neurons and columns. That we don't need. That's too deep for here.
Way too deep.
Vision. Ambiguation. Continue with geometry model.
I like that. That's awesome. I remember looking at these with you, man.
This one, I find this one one of the most useful because it makes really obvious how you only see the, you know, some part.
Yes.
Right. But your mind predicts the rest.
Yes.
Right. And based on the previous forms. Now,
it's like visual jokes.
Scramble words. Right. So here's how your brain combines.
Yes.
Right. Features to produce it, and just in layers. It's just layers. This one I find the most frustrating. They're the same color.
Colors, yes. Yeah.
This one I found frustrating.
I find it funny. It's like it's quite an interesting what I'm watching what you're doing now today, right?
Right.
It's like this. It's like I'm watching Kurt, the artist, and it is the all art, right? It's all the art.
Yes.
All described all at once.
Yeah.
That's how I regard it, and it's like it's a beautiful thing to be a party to, because it's like it's no small thing, and it's no small thing to make it right.
Maybe that's. I think you just gave me an insight.
But it's like, because you bring these crazy skills together that this can't exist anywhere but inside your head, which is it can't because it's like the study of the art that you did, right, to bring you here, the study of the art, and then the computational science.
Yes.
And then the real world application of all that in your professional activities prior to this work. And then the art coming out after you got all that. And the perfection of it is where we are now.
Well, the perfection of it, I'm going to, is due to our partnership. This one's fascinating. I'm going to go back and show this one. Play it.
So did you see it? It's not very long. The next few images are separated by darkness. See if you can identify what's changing between the two images. I couldn't do it.
That one kills me because I didn't get it.
What changed?
There's an engine here.
Yeah.
And there's no engine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God damn it, what am I not getting? I have really good color. I have no color sense, but I have great color distinction.
Yes.
Which again, I find, I know it's purely genetics, right? But I just can't do it. This one's famous. What's it detecting? A husky? The AI? No, it's detecting that all photos of huskies are in snow. So whoever sees snow, it categorizes it as a husky. That's what the AI, the gray background is what the AI ignored. And the white, the colors here, are what the AI used to decide what was in the photo.
That's funny.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Okay, these are a couple of my favorite ones.
What's interesting is stable relations, yeah?
Yep. Right. Well, I mean, it's a stable relation between contexts, right? This one's
right.
just where your eye goes, which I think is interesting, and how long it stays there. The next one's more interesting. This is what
heat map.
this is what women look at. Right? Where's the men one? This is what women look at. This is what men look at. So the reason I like this one, where is it? This one here. It's so true though. Is the women focus, there's no emphasis on feet, but the women look at the feet. What the fuck? You want to know why women like shoes?
Wait, yeah. No, that's not it at all. It's just, that's what women don't like shoes is what that means. Doesn't tell us why.
I have no idea what feet mean in evolutionary history that would tell us anything, but this goes through vision and pretty.
There's probably in my mind is the women pay attention to shoes because they're a status symbol.
Why is it so universal?
What's that?
Why would a shoe? It's like nails, shoes. I don't know.
Goes like this. Look where the women are looking. That tells us what is important to them, right? Where we look is telling us what's important.
Yes, exactly. So I did a really good thing here, which is the dimensions of causality. We probably ought to add that to, I mean, that's what we're doing here though, right? Yeah, we're doing dimensions anyway. We did that throughout. Most important. Common color, that's mega stimulates in competition recursion. This is body, object, space, and environment. Yeah.
So this is, I'm going back to this one on the extreme left there. Is it looks to me like this, where this is descriptive. We're all of these are describing everything, and that's how we're doing it by this mechanism. Sensation to the law is the description.
Yep.
So it's like the parliamentary procedure for human beings from the basement up, right?
Yes. Well, let me just see if there's anything else we can steal from in here. Okay. Columns, we don't need a cortex. Gross anatomy, we don't need. Yeah, okay. So I think that's the struggle I was having was doing. I created the tree problem, which you were teasing me about earlier, which is trying to do before, during, and after. I was trying to do a lot the four sciences, which was physics, behavior, evolution, and logic. And I was trying to shoehorn into that too hard, which was causing me difficulty. When we really have to do it by these means, right? This has to be the order we put it in instead. We can have the four sciences there, which is language, physics, behavior, evolution. And then we can say how we've extended the fourth, which is the logic, all the way. I suppose we could do it that way. All right. I see. The problem is it's 5, right? It's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 5, not 4. You need to have this relation to have this relation. Okay. All right. So I boxed myself in, and that's why I was being frustrated.
And painted yourself into a corner that way.
Yeah. So I have to deal with right.
Yes.
So, the problem is, let's see. This is deformation. These two are roughly the same. This one's interesting. Scent is interesting because it goes right to your brain. Right.
Yes.
And the evolution is this direction, I think.
It's close enough.
Then we have, what are these terms? Proprioception.
Yes.
Where did I cover that?
It's one of my favorite senses.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over I already did this, so I'm a little frustrated that, did I do it here already?
What's frustrating?
Well, I know I already did it. Give me a
Yes.
second. The you call perceptions, sensations? What do you call
Faculties, you called it?
them? Yeah.
That's an interesting question. This is Claude, yeah?
This is Claude. Claude writes better. It is a little more safe in a bad way.
What does that mean?
It's a little more biased. No, this is not, I know what it is. I'm looking for, okay.
What category of faculty is it? Right? Category of senses. Okay.
What are the other ones? What are some other ones?
That's interesting.
Awareness is a really bad word. Usually it's much faster than the others. Today it's not. I don't know why.
Busy Saturday.
Maybe.
And you're on Zoom.
And funny that
Yes. These are some of my favorite studies, these.
yes, because you have a fascinating interest. I'm gonna say, where were you? You're not here, right? No, I've used that before. So let's go to come on, you. What are you? Hello, boy. I love when people argue with me and I'm like, you just don't know the definition of the word. I go over here now and like define this, right? And I just go blah, blah, blah. I take the prevaricating bullshit off the bottom and that's it. Like, stop arguing with me. Don't argue with me. No. Bet it's not there. Missing from the list. What is going on here?
There it is.
This is the list I'm looking for.
That's an interesting list, and that's a census.
I want to do condition. Here it is. So what's the difference between that list
This list is more complete.
Is there anything missing?
Vestibular sense is not in the list on the left.
Yeah.
The visceroception and the thermoception is also not on that list.
You're saying that perception isn't on this list.
Which one?
Perception and introspection aren't on this list.
Yeah. Interoceptive emotion is.
Oh, excellent.
And chemoreception is also not on the other list. So what this is a list of categories of perception. Which is marginal differences in state, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think perception belongs in the list. It is the heading of the list.
You want these to all be.
I would make perception be the category of all that. Yes. Under condition, and its condition is, interestingly, it's the detection of marginal differences.
Oh, we. I want to see if there's a way to categorize, because it seems that there is. God damn it.
Yes, there is. There's sensation. There's there's internal and external, right?
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So let's do external. Oh, was that external or internal?
Proprioception is a internal.
Yeah.
Thermoception is external. It's arguably both.
No, this is wrong.
Didn't like its order.
I'm trying to order it from outside to most concrete outside to most
Okay.
inside. This goes in.
Yes. That's.
I don't know about that one.
I would. The thermoception I would put outside. And it has it's a bridge between the two, really,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think I would put thermoception in the outside external, and then I would put it again internally in interoception.
Give me 1 sense, bro. 1 second, boss.
Yes, sir. Processing. Need a little spinny thing.
I think it's okay to put it.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Right there. This is different. This is different.
What is?
I'm not sure how to say it yet. And these are different.
Those are like those two are awareness. They're like a translation, higher order processing.
Exactly. It's external. This is physical, bodily.
Okay.
Something bodily and systemic.
Yeah. the cognitive system. Yeah.
Yes, now I feel good.
It's very satisfying.
This should be bullet pointed. They should be indented. I hate doing this.
What?
Oh, this just frustrates me every time I encounter it.
Pretty much every time.
Every time. I've got some of it figured out, but not enough of it.
Hmm.
I think these should these be bullets instead of numbered?
Yeah, bullets is better.
Yep, that's better.
Yeah.
Bodily.
Bodily systems, body systems.
So it's the
That's the most inside, to the most inside. I like that. And then the cognitive,
yeah,
which is our impression of what it is.
yeah.
It's external awareness, right?
External awareness.
I like awareness in there just because that's what it's describing, the system of.
I see awareness means something else. Sensation. See, yeah, you're right. It's more
Sensation.
sensation.
That's good.
Oh hell.
Why? That's very disturbing. I want you to save it now because I'm getting scared.
What?
I
Oh,
want you to save it because I'm starting to get scared.
we've both been punished enough by not doing that.
Just like, yeah, I don't want it to go away, Kurt.
All right. Now, it seems like what's the difference between these things
Okay.
and these things? Because it
Those
would
are the
seem
same.
like
They're the same.
these are go under here.
They do. Because they're just specific applications of those things.
Yeah. Okay. Given. Provide. I have no idea how it'll do with what given that. It's usually really good. I've just developed a technique for saying refer to this as, refer to that as, and then ask it a question. It's also really good at fill in the blank. So if I say fill in the blanks, it'll do that too.
That's interesting. That's very complete.
Wow.
Just find it to be an interesting operation that you're conducting, and being able to observe it is quite
It's
interesting.
so much easier to ask the right questions and then edit the text. Because the way these things write is not as clear as
That's very brief. I like that. Okay.
I'm gonna go up and read this. Where does it say taste? I don't know, I like these just fine. That's just beautiful.
Yes.
We do it?
Yes. I'm watching how you do it. It's interesting to me.
No heck.
There you go. Get rid of that comma.
Or did I forget it?
Sense of touch, comma. Same thing on the next one. Sense of hearing, comma.
You didn't catch it.
Oh, I missed it. Damn it. Slipped one by me.
I just gotta love you, man.
There's one more comma to go.
See, it uses this. See, is based on. Who the
What?
f- would say that? I wouldn't say that.
What's that?
Is based on.
Oh, yeah.
That's see is.
Yes. It's caused by, right?
Yeah, it's caused. So all you have to do is say why.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah.
I get the same. Did I make it response to the response?
That's not it. Yep.
Okay, so let's just bold them. Go to hell. Never does it when I want, does it whenever I don't want.
At least it's consistent, right?
Mhm.
Oh my.
Okay,
Now you update it.
give me 1 second.
Okay. Hmm.
Not sure it'll be any better.
What's that?
I'm not sure it'll be any better. Did you see the one I posted in one of my brief moments of consciousness yesterday? Which was I said, here's publication pros, academic pros, and operation.
Yes.
Everybody came back with academic pros, which is what I
Yes.
expected. But it's because you get more meaning out of it, even if you get more testing out of operational. It's just too hard to read.
Yes.
I don't think this is better. Yeah, it's not better.
No, I think the one on the left is fine.
Yeah.
The there did stimulate my brain to suggest that we're talking about stable relations, right?
Yes.
And it is a is the means through which we are able to stabilize the relations that we have and maintain, right?
Okay, so. Oh. Yeah, we're not, we've not talked about that yet, have we?
I thought it was above.
Oh, we're at the very top now. So we have got causality, which is vibration. And then we call this senses. Right? Down here we get rid of this. Because we've combined external and internal states, right?
Yes. With sense making is what you call that in the modern, right?
Yes. Oh God. You just love to start shit, don't you? You just love to start shit. How did you like your class in postmodernism when you went to college?
I didn't have it. The
No, you didn't take the bait, which means which class didn't have it.
no, well, I didn't detect it at the time. Unfortunately, it's like it was not palatable to me. It was in the stage when it was merely political correctness.
Yes.
Hmm. So it was undetectable because it was the thin entering wedge.
I see. So when were you in college?
I got out in 85.
5, so just a couple years behind me.
So, but because I thought you were going to talk about stable relations.
Well, I do, but I want to get to. So
I
here's,
thought it was above there. No, I thought it was above there.
hold on. Yeah, we have to have it above there, right? So we have to have it above here.
Because you're going to describe it in the there it is, keeps going up. Because you were going to talk, yes.
So we have to talk about, we have to do the geometry thing. Yes, we have to start with this. Okay. So I can add it here, right?
Where?
Where you said.
Yeah,
Where
you have,
your
yes,
infinite
yes.
wisdom.
Yeah, well, you already did add it there.
Yeah, I want to do it though if we're going to be here.
Hmm.
See what it comes up with. How
Quite interesting.
about asking the right question?
What's interesting is to cause it to provide an output that is creative for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite interesting to me because it's not being creative.
No, what we're doing is taking advantage of that it is an extraordinarily broad vocabulary and skill at writing to make easier the effort of one's writing. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, it's too. No, I want it to be. Need a more. Let's try.
There you go.
I should have said I'm trying to keep this simple and abstract.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
That did a nice job.
That did a nice job. It's all about asking the. Whoops. See, the filler words.
Yes.
Plays a critical role. See. What just happened? Plays a critical role. Maintains.
Yeah.
Dense. It's my psychology going there. I'm feeling dense right now. All right. I don't think I have to say anything else. Do you?
No. No, because that says that talks about what we need to talk about, because now you're describing them in the part view.
Here it is.
What's that?
By detecting changes in stable relations.
Right.
Oops.
Nice.
You have to address homeostasis.
Yes. I think you do.
Where? You do have to address it, right?
I think so. Because that's the cause of it. Right? The body requires homeostasis
Yeah.
or it dies. I will put that before senses because the senses are the mechanism by which it calculates the answer.
It's just the subject, so it's just change. Bodily con. Right.
There you go. By maintaining homeostasis. We'll use the word continuously in there somehow. There you go.
How's that? That looks pretty good, yes?
I like to see this sense perception. I would say sensory perception allows the body to detect changes, to detect and respond to changes.
Changes and stable relations between the body and the vessel.
By detecting those changes. We're repeating ourselves there.
I know.
By maintaining stable relations instead of by detecting and
Yeah, I'm lost, buddy. So
but your blinking cursor is one line below where I'm looking at.
okay.
So as well as with the body, within the body, by maintaining stable relations, right? So it's within and without the body that we're maintaining these stable relations. But it's like
Body detect, respond to changes and stabilize the body's environment as well as within the body itself by detecting changes and stability.
no, it doesn't. That just needs to go away. That little bit.
What does?
No, that last little phrase is within the body itself.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Okay, great. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I'm allowed to. We're both allowed to be confused-icated.
It's just like trying to working with the AI thing is kind of interesting.
So this so you worked stable relations in.
Yes.
What do we? I really like this section. We did good.
It's quite interesting.
We should explain not all changes in those stable relations across all senses.
It's a funny argument, man. It's just frequency modulation. What's interesting is it's like a goddamn pipe organ is all it is.
Explain that. Oh, I see.
Pipe organ. And it's like you got different ones that are tuned to different frequencies that are picking up information.
Yes.
And you have this huge pipe organ that you throw it all together again. Kurt, I really enjoy these conversations because it allows me to discuss what I cannot discuss with anybody else.
Same for me, brother.
It's awesome, man. Because gonna lay another groundwork because we're gonna have another conversation after this one.
So
And
good.
it's
So good. See, this is what I like about, sorry, I want to go back to what you're saying. This is what I like about Claude. It learns what you're effing talking about. All right, go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I'm just giving a preview of this conversation that I'm going to have with you afterward in a separate little conversation because it'll be short. Is about AI and the stuff that I wish to express with the AI, and I'll talk to you about it. It's related to stable relations.
Well, maybe we we're almost done with this. Maybe we got okay. All sensory perception involves the detection of changes in the environment or within the body itself. These changes, regardless of the specific sensory modality, can be understood as vibrations or oscillations that disrupt the stable relations between the body and its surrounding or within the body's circumstances.
Perfect.
Vibrations are uniform form of energy that can manifest in various ways, such as sound wave, light wave, mechanical pressure, chemical fluctuations. Each sensory modality is specialized to detect specific vibrations. For example, the auditory system neurons are uniquely adapted to detect and respond to these vibrational changes. Specialized receptors sensitive to specialized energy. When a vibration of sufficient intensity, frequency, and receptors causes a change in the neurons, known as receptor potential. At the receptor, I'm really happy.
You gonna plug that in there?
Yeah.
Good.
See, it's got to add these fucking filler words at the most fundamental level.
Yes. that's what academics do.
God damn it, it annoys the shit out of me.
That was one of the things that bothered me most about school, I think, too, because it's like it's the little flowery edges, right? It's like a style that they like to have. This is good. That the cognitive part is higher, like it's like you're looking at frequencies there, right?
Yes.
But it's like the frequency, if you pull down that list, the cognitive is the
where do you want me to go?
Way down the list, way at the bottom, way down at the bottom. Because it's like we go through the senses when we specify these vibrational the pipes, right?
Yep.
And then you get to the bottom, you got the lowest frequency pipe is the cognitive.
Lowest frequency. There's a thing here which captures.
Right. If there's right. That's an patterns over time.
Yes.
Patterns over time, senses in time.
It's over time, allowing pattern detection over time.
Yes.
That's okay.
How about senses in time, allowing pattern detection over time?
Yeah, the thing is that frequency equals time. So low frequency, so
What time you're detecting, right? Your sensitivity to time, right?
Right. Well, the thing, what we're really trying to say is I'm collecting a bundle of information. And the bigger the bundle of information, the bigger the pattern recognition I have, and the greater advantage I have in responding to it.
Yes,
That makes
yes.
sense. I don't know if I want to say all that right here.
I understand. I had to make mention of it because it struck me as something to talk about.
I'm gonna bold these so while we're at it. Hey, my brain has to shift again. You were talking about something smart and I wanted to get it and I've lost it.
The pattern detection over time,
Before was before
pipes.
that.
Oh my. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. That's it. That's your pattern detection there. Prediction.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So let's do this. And we've got boom.
Nice. Do you need that all there?
Well,
It's okay. I was trying to make it be in the same form as the
yeah,
all
you're
the
right.
other sections with something bolded.
You're so smart. So you want to do that?
Yeah. There you go. Hmm.
God damn it! What just happened?
I don't know. It
There's
was
a the.
digital.
There's a the somewhere that there shouldn't be now.
Maybe.
No, I mean there is because.
There it is. I saw it. I saw it. There it is.
Thank you.
I'm looking at that section you just finalized there upstairs.
Where?
Their response. I'm looking at response in that context. Okay.
Hold on a second.
That's not
This
strictly
isn't right.
citation.
Disambiguation. And then what did you call this? First.
Prediction. It's yeah.
How's that?
Okay.
I like
That's good. No, that's very good. wait. Oh.
Where?
Senses, right above the line above homeostasis there highlighted. Okay, various physiological parameters
Yeah.
are stable relations. Maybe parenthetically, yep. There you go.
I wonder if
I would say not optimal, but acceptable.
I'm kind of think we should put homeostasis out above.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would not say optimal, however, I would say acceptable or tolerable limits, right? Yeah, pull that part out, that whole sentence.
This whole sentence?
Yes, that's homeostasis.
Yeah.
Because why do we have the senses, right? The cause of the senses is the need for homeostasis.
Yeah. So
How we maintain homeostasis is the causality. You're asking the question there. That's the homeostasis part. Huh. I do that with some frequency too. Put my hand on the wrong place of the keyboard and start typing and get some kind of craziness out. It's almost correctly coded. So this homeostasis, the body survives by continuously striving, by maintaining physical parameters.
Yeah. But we gotta say the body we gotta say the body consists of stable relations.
Yes, that's fair enough. They're not too vast.
Not too vast. Jesus.
By a hierarchy of vast numbers of stable relationships. Fair?
Yep. Oh, hierarchy.
Yeah, a hierarchy should do it.
And it's all cellular, right?
No.
No.
Cell is one. Organ systems, right? So the way we talk about it in medicine is molecules, biomolecules, cells, tissues. Combinations of cells is tissues. Organs, organ systems, and the organism. Close. That's nice. So I would just say the body, colon, and then skip the consists of. Just say a hierarchy.
I say an organism. Or just
Okay, that's fine. Either way is fine.
Yeah, there's a difference though. What's that difference? Trying to rate it to humans, right? So it's okay
Living,
to say.
the person, right? The
Yeah.
person. I would specify the living person because it's a person. And it's like, then because it's a living one, right? Because you can have a dead body. Okay.
Maintain. Demand.
Hmm.
That's what it is, right?
Yes.
And what is this? What is this in relation? Is that right? No. No. This is information.
That's right. Information of the body, right?
I think this is just saying what information consists of.
I suppose that's true too.
Oh, I already did that. No, it's right there.
You saved me from having to say it. Thank you. Hmm. 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 Process the information. Yep. That's beautiful. That's expression, right?
You know, we get good at this after a while.
It's awesome.
Okay. If this is what I used to, what is if this is the category of functions that define human faculties, how should Should I then define faculties? Faculties, I'm having trouble.
Oh my. Is that necessary to say that?
It's weird. The whole thing is you don't, it's amazing how much it matters from one AI to the other, how you talk to it.
Really?
Because you're trying to forget hallucination. I mean, hallucination on one end, or answering the question you didn't ask. So so it's like
you're going to make it free range. You're trying to limit its free range functionality.
Right. You're trying to get it down to understanding what question are you really asking. I'm really asking.
Right. That's good. It's a very interesting answer.
Oh, I like this. I wouldn't have put it that way. Because I'm talking about cognitive faculties here.
Yes. No, it's faculties. It's a better definition.
Better. This is great. See, it'll use it. Stable relations, right?
Oh, very nice.
If you keep it, unfortunately, its context window isn't that big. It's only 200K. But if you just keep the thing rolling, right, you stay on topic, it will carry it forward. It's just wonderful.
Now, I want to say something to the audience while you do a little work.
Okay.
That working with this and observing this process is eminently useful for all of us to see how Kurt does this crazy business. So I think that watching the working session is more valuable than you might think it is. The process is the interesting part of it.
Oh, you mean the process of going about it?
The process by which we generate the piece that we're generating is more interesting than the piece because it's a lower frequency event.
Oh, I see.
Because they're watching how we create the stable relations that we're generating, but it's how we do it that is interesting because it occurs so infrequently, and the piece will be a stable relation when it's done. It won't be inactive. So that the person watching this gains advantage by understanding the process and emulating it within their own desires, right?
Yes. I think I tell people that it's like anything. The best thing I can equate it to is doing math, because math can only be done by doing it. You just have to do it. The number of rules involved in math increases like ours do, right? It's a hierarchy of increasing abstraction the same way. The thing is, if you can't get over your tendency to assume, you're fine.
Right.
Right. And so I'm like, what am I assuming here? And you just got to get over it.
What does that mean, get over it?
You use you look, am I at first principles yet?
Okay.
Right. If I'm not, serialization, operationalizing serialization, adversarial competition, and disambiguation into something, right? Find out what the spectrum looks like and say, okay, what is that caused by? Figure out the causes. Do I understand those causes? Don't assume you do, because until you get down to the quantum background or the ternary logic, you don't, right? I know it doesn't look like it, but I know what I do in my head is I just work my way up. Can I calculate this? But once you've calculated it, it's sort of like knowing, certain trig tables or something, or
Yes.
log, right?
Yes.
Once you do it, you're like, well, it's between this one and this one, so I'll start here. But there's just no way to do it without, that's why we're writing the pamphlet, is so you know what the log table is.
That's it.
Well,
That's exactly what it is.
and so I just think it's very hard. So the intuition with most people is, oh, I found an answer, here it is. It's not that you find an answer, then you beat the shit out of the answer, right? Until you come, okay, that's not done. I don't know that. And so you just keep asking yourself, what don't I know, until you get to a first principle. It's hard. I understand. I can say that for me, to object-oriented development and database design are the two things that I found were the mental model by which most of this became easy. Because if you understand what normalization is in database, it's basically develop the causal hierarchy of descriptions. And when you're talking about object-oriented analysis design, you just collect all the nouns and verbs, right? And that's literally what you do. You talk to people and you just write nouns and verbs. That's it, right? And then a verb is a method and a noun is an object or a property, right? And you just say, okay, so how do we make a thing that can perform this vocabulary? And so if you have those two skills, so the problem is that people are like, well, object only is for simulations and we have this. And I said, that's not about programming. It's about way of thinking.
Yes.
Right. And so, if you want to do functional programming, it's much closer to math. If you want to do object-oriented programming, it's much closer to simulations or language. And so I find that those two things were the tools of disambiguation I needed to have. And I think they're superior to mathematics for the simple reason that math allows you to do a lot of things that aren't possible where programming doesn't. Programming world is quite
operationalism. Yep.
It's you can theoretically make up almost any object you can think of, right? Within limits. And if you encode it, any reference you can think of, you should be able to code something about it. You get into problem. You say, like we talk about different cardinal, ordinal, and natural order, right? We talk about those things. And, if you have in a database, you just make the natural order and that's all there is, right? You use to it. And then the other thing I did is I was an early designer of very complex state engines, which you would think of as what's the name? Arrows.
Vectors.
Sequences. I don't know. I forgot the name. It starts with M.
Okay.
Changes in state, right?
Yes. State.
So I built most of my applications consisted of very linguistically structured systems that were entirely dynamic. It's why I prefer the languages I use, because if I want to, I can put data in a database that can be recombined into code and do magical things. In other words, you can execute text basically so it's the kind of languages I prefer, which is the Lisp side of languages, but I don't care. And so I would build these really sophisticated systems, and you really only have to know basically those basic systems, which is object-oriented development, database normalization, and state machines. And that's where you get the next level after that is simply what we've got today, which is what we see is in AI today, which is simply now you've gone to there's no the structure itself isn't preordained, right? It's simply discovered right? So where you do things in structured programming, you preordain, you analyze and preordain these objects, but you're stuck with finite measures, right? Whatever measures you put in there. However, with AI, now you've got to what's called Bayesian accounting, which it can measure more dimensions than you and I can perceive. And so it can identify patterns of constructions that aren't pre-calculated. They're actually constructed dynamically from the information input. Well, it's easier to control structured information if you want to place limits on what a thing can do. But, you can't get to these things where you're like, you ask the information to engage in process of discovery. It can't, whereas the AIs can engage in processes of discovery because Bayesian accounting, which is Bayesian means of measurement, can be any n number of dimensions. Whereas, when you're building a hard computer system, there's only so many dimensions you can account for. I mean, I made amazingly complex, in retrospect, I just thought I was doing the obvious, right, in the 80s. Seriously. Such a nerd. I just think it's obvious. So,
it's your standard of normal is far,
I completely admit to my cluelessness, right? I mean,
this is where I remind Kurt about the missing lily pads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just such an idiot, and I had no idea how sophisticated the software I was building. I mean, we've only just mashed it recently.
Yes.
Right? And so I built, I had weird shit like some courts would try to keep data processors out of the court by having forms that had to be perfectly matched. Like if there was an F that was tilted by 15 degrees, well, I mean, I can do that with
right.
What's the PDF made out of? The language inside of a PDF. So
like a bitmap.
No, it's actually drawings. It doesn't matter, but I can make that happen. So I would just make it mirror the document perfectly. And, and so we just press a button and 100 lawsuits would come out at the end of the, I mean,
I like it.
We had like 4, 5, 6 printers running and 100 lawsuits would come out at the end.
It's the equivalent of a legal machine gun.
It was. Because this is the 80s, right? So we're just making this stuff happen. So you should see the faces on lawyers when they realize what can be done. It's all magic to them. It was all magic.
Yes, yes.
Right. It was all magic to them, but they're like putting in this data, right? And they got researchers collecting data. They're putting in their data, which is basically what court am I going to put this in or whatever. They basically had to select the jurisdiction. Which kind of argument they wanted to make.
Here's how you do it.
And press a button, right? And it's like, their whole thing was the reason a lawyer has to be involved is they're telling the court, I'm responsible for this. So they actually have to read it. But I mean, what are they going to read? I mean, they wrote the paragraphs. All I do is, arrange them and put data in them and and make an argument out of it. And it's really logical, And again, I mean, I feel kind of stupid today knowing back at myself, right? I mean, looking back at it, I'm an older guy now and I know a lot of stuff now, but back then, I mean, I was doing the same shit we're doing here, right? I mean, I had Soundex algorithms, for example, which would break up the phonetics of different terms. So I could find what things might match with something else. Because if you match by 6 syllables, I mean, it's going to be the same. It doesn't matter how it's spelled, right? I mean, it's just that's how good the English language is at unambiguity. Yeah. So, you just put things in. And I teach this thing stupid stuff like, here's a bunch of here's how to figure out if these are, what do you call it when you have letters representing something? ABC or.
Yeah.
Why is my brain not pulling this up?
There's this English word for this.
Acronyms.
I know. Acronym. There you go. Thank you.
My brain is so deep in this stuff, I can't pull it back out. But anyway, I just felt it's just funny that looking back at myself, I was like, I'm just, everybody's doing this. No, nobody was fucking doing this. I mean, they couldn't they couldn't even hire anybody to replace me.
No.
They just kept using the software until they got shut down by the FBI, which I made happen. All right. Well, I'm a dick. All right. That's the other thing. Like, I'm aware that you and I are, and all our friends, we are a profoundly moral people, like obsessively so, right? And I had no idea. I just thought everyone was like that.
That's a bad error, man. That normalization error,
When
right?
I overcame my aspiness, but it was work.
Yes. Normalcy bias is awful.
Horrible. All right, so okay, so these are cognitive faculties.
That's it. Did you put that, did you put faculties above there?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do is I got faculties.
Yeah.
So what do we call these? These are cognitive faculties.
That's
right?
a subset of
It's these
these
three.
faculties. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So the process using of sensory, perceptual, and cognitive faculties.
That's nice.
I don't know if you can. It's attentional state. Okay, I'm going to ask you to this. Okay. God damn it. You don't want to do it? Fine. Don't be a dick. Okay. In the following, the sequences.
I find that to be just utterly ridiculous, man.
And awesome. Well, I mean, I can spend right now. This one's pretty smart. If I go over here, you can see my screen, right? So
Yeah.
if I go over here, you can actually upload.
Oh,
I can't get it to do it. I think this is in the way.
that's okay.
Hello. You can upload documents.
Wow.
So if I were to upload, I'd have to go get it. It's over on
Right.
one of these. That document, I probably, and I could probably, I don't know if I could take this PDF, and export it to PDF and put it up there. And
Wow.
it would be able to read those, and I could ask the question of one of those documents. So I'll get there. I wasn't able to get there yet. And mostly because I want to make sure I understand what it can do before I screw it up.
I understand what you're doing.
But because this stuff is all addressed, right, over here. But I just want to see what it says. Given
Yes.
that. No, I'm just going to do it this way.
Yes.
And that we are describing.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's nice, man.
Let's just see how it does. I need to get rid of that.
Uh-oh.
Really, I screwed it up.
Taking some processing power.
Well, I mean, I'm asking a very hard question.
It's a hard question. I agree.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's got to do.
That was fast for what it's doing. And it's done. That's amazing.
Not very good though.
You don't like it?
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah. This is the one I didn't know if it would get.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can
Yes, you can.
I can start with that. It's not great, but whoops, where did copy and retry come from? That's fascinating. Okay.
There it came from the bottom of that.
Yeah. So how would we explain?
Hmm. That's nice.
Got this problem here. Let's fix this. Boom. Boom. Fuck. Put this way.
Hmm.
Jesus. It does not want to do it. What am I going to do here?
What's that?
Well, it won't get rid of the bullets. And I got to get rid of the bullets because it's a bad bullet. That means there's a nested something or other here.
Yes.
Why won't you go there? There we go.
Boom. Oh my.
Come on, baby. You can do it.
handcrafted.
Well, you know. Oh,
That's how we
smart.
do it sometimes, right?
Well, I'm just worried about the amount of lag right now means we need to save.
Yes.
Oh, shit, Brad, I didn't realize the time. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Oh, let's do this. Not
Yep, that's not right.
put my fingers in the right keys. It'll help too.
Here we go.
All right, let's see. Oh my God.
Yes.
Can we take this? Try again. I'll do this while it's waiting.
Huh.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's continuous recursive disambiguation right there.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what we want to get. Which is what we want to get to, right?
Gorgeous.
I don't know. Can you read that and tell me if we should use the shorter or the longer one? Tell me if this makes sense.
This is the short one, right?
This is the long one right here.
Okay. Hmm. Show me pull it down the AI, the long one. Okay.
So I don't know if it started there. Yeah, there's some remains. There remains the long one there.
Yes. Yes.
You want to read that, or do you want to go to the
No,
short?
pull it down to the short one. Oh, that's a short one. Short one's good.
Short one's good.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to both summarize.
No, it's a summary itself.
Yeah, I don't need anything, just that, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I say lag.
Save it. There it is. Were you gonna put continuous recursive disambiguation in there?
Got to get there.
Oh, you haven't got there yet?
I'm just scrolling down to it.
Okay. You're wearing me out, man.
Well, I'm there. I was going to say I'm getting there too.
I want to have another little short chat. I have to say it again so you don't just sign off and disappear into the ethers again.
Oh no!
Back to your genie bottle.
He's referring to the fact that I don't know what happened. I either ate something or whatever on Thursday, and I don't know what it was. I didn't, and I was a mess. Starting Thursday afternoon after lunch, and I slept almost the whole day around yesterday. And I have things to do, which isn't good. So I didn't get as much done of those things as I wanted. Give me one second. So this process.
Hmm.
This is just a marker because we're going to have to fit this in. So I'm going to put this here. Oh, hell with you. I haven't figured out a way to do this, by the way. Let me ask you this question while I'm at it. All right, so we've got, I don't know why. I should just do it that way. Let's just do it this way. Brad will say, well, that was obvious. Don't be an idiot. And I'll say, well, he'll think that. He just won't say that because he's a gentleman. All right, so what I was trying to get to is see how we've got this introduction, right? I find a lot of the time we need this. And I'm just saying, how should I format it? Should I unindent it? Yeah, I think so. That's the right answer. All right, I think we're gonna be burnt out for the day. Although I gotta tell you, it was an awesome day.
That was amazing work. I enjoyed the process of it as much as the work being done.
And so we've got all the way to what I don't have is consciousness here, but I can do that from there. I can do consciousness next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I can talk about instrumentation.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to have consciousness before we can have. So we're going to do consciousness.
Awareness of our instrumentation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
For more. Cool.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
boss,
what I was looking for.
we're gonna stop
Oh.
sharing.
Yeah, we're gonna end this little session, and then we're gonna have a little chat.
Okay, boss.
I'm gonna say my part. Thanks for staying, everybody. That was so worthy of a session. And this is your opportunity right now. You can hit that like button, and oh, don't forget the subscribe button. And my goodness, then the notification so that you are made aware of everything that we do here. And then you can tell us what you think about it. We want to hear about it. Thanks, Kurt.
Love you, man. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. It was, again, Saturday. It's a working session, Saturday, March 9th, 2024. Have a great day. So I'm going to stop the recording, not end the session.